Okay, good morning. And Steve, number two, um, again. And today I have Google Eyes from the light that I can't quite figure out how to have it not reflect off my glasses. But it's kind of fun to be able to turn my head and go all googly eyed on you. So uh, I made the commitment to not be overly distracted in the video today. So, and hopefully you won't be. And I have a cat on my lap. You can just trust me that she's there. There's her tail. Or it might be a snake. But we'll see how it goes with my not being distracted. And especially with this cat here who's like eyeing down the scenery. And I'm not going to say causing me to be nervous, but giving me the opportunity to be nervous. So I think it's very interesting. And I think the way I'm going to do it today is I'm going to first show you the card that was drawn for the energy to be working with today. And so it's interesting, it's the 13 of Trumps. And it's the Death Rebirth card. So I'll give you a little bit of information about that in a minute. But I just want to show you how she's making noises over there, so I'm just kind of concerned about what she might be doing. Oh well. Because I set my intention to not have this be a distracting video. So I have possibly failed miserably. So today, so I learned a few things today. So today in the Mayan calendar is the white world bridger. And we'll see if that you can actually see it well enough to read it. But anyway, it says it equalizes death and opportunity. And it says, you were, you will be. Know this while you are. Your spirit has traveled both long and afar. It rose from the source to the source it returns. The spark which was lighted eternally burns. And that's Maori. And World Bridger represents revelation, realization of the mortality of the physical body, the organic balance of life and death, the realm of neutrality, which facilitates bridging and connection, intimate exchange with the spirit of the ancestors. As a force of equalization, the inevitability of death humbles us all. And so I think that feels like that could be enough for the information from the Mayan calendar. I'm going to set that down. And then I'm going to just read a little bit from the 13 of Trumps. The Trumps are the major Arcana cards. And so this is, if you feel like it, if you feel like thinking about these things as you go about your day. So you can think, well, this person named Steve who has this video channel on healing and consciousness and occasionally or frequently does pulls tarot cards for the world. Now, yesterday I did an extensive reading. That was for the spring. So if you want to spend 35 minutes of your time and get a sense of what this springtime is going to be like, you can do that. And this is a card for the day. And it's referred to, 13 of Trumps is referred to as the death card and the rebirth card. So this is about like the phoenix rising. And this death rebirth symbol represents the universal principle of detachment and release. It is through letting go that we are able to give birth to new forms. So we have to let go of the old and give birth to the new. And give birth to the new or unexpressed parts of ourselves, the Aquarian fetus-like figures. So death is the Scorpio symbol in the deck. Scorpio has 3 symbols which represent 3 types of transformation or death rebirth stages. The Scorpion represents that part of ourselves that's willing to protect or take care of ourselves during times of change and letting go. The Snake reminds us that in order to transform, we must let go of old identities in order to be able to express new ones, much like a snake that sheds its skin. And the Phoenix or Eagle reflects the overall vision and perspective that is needed in order to become even more of who we are. So that's what the day is going to be about. It's going to be about letting go of the old and allowing a new self. It might be a latent self that was just in there ready to rise up, like the phoenix out of the ashes. So letting ourselves really be paying attention to what's emerging and what needs to kind of pass away on some level in order for this new self to emerge. So the one thing I'm going to say is I had spoken either in the last video or earlier in this video, I had spoken about the woman who asked me, what could she do about all this anger? And I got kind of distracted by the thought of 2 women being really intense with me. And so I said to her, well, I can help. I can help you let it go. And then we get the death rebirth card. And the Mayan calendar day is about bridging the worlds. And it's the death renewal card. And today may be a day about death and renewal. It seems to be. The Mayan calendar said it was. The card I pulled for the day said it was. And I've been feeling like I've been letting go of a lot over the last 7 months. But I had 2 days of kind of integration that felt really good. But then last night, with all the healing work I was doing in the dream world, I'm like, okay, here we go. We're really in probably April moving into a lot of letting go. So the best thing you can do, as far as I'm concerned, is state out loud, I connect to my deep self. Go inside your deep self and acknowledge that you are willing, if there's anything that would be in your highest good, to release today from the consciousness of peace and calm of the deep self, that you are willing and able to just let it go. And you can state, if you have any particular feelings that surface for you, that, how can I let go of this anger? You can state, I choose to let it go. And let it go. I mean, if you actually state out loud, I choose to let it go, and then you do it, like, rather than, if you don't behave, I'm going to hit you. I didn't do much of this. It was like, but I've heard it so many times. Do you want to get smacked? Do you want to get smacked? Do you want to get smacked? It's like, no. Or as I think it was my first grade teacher, but it might have been my third grade teacher, asked me, are you stupid? And she was a nun, okay? It was parochial school. Are you stupid or what? And you wouldn't believe how many years I spent wondering what the what was. Because I felt like I needed to be what rather than stupid. And so, in order to prove that I wasn't stupid, I had to figure out what was. And that was my life quest, was to figure out what was what. If I'm not stupid, because I don't want to be stupid, so I'm not choosing to be stupid, what am I choosing to be? And so I finally came to the realization I'm choosing to be myself, which is a person like no other and continually changing. Okay, so that's it for that video. I hope you have a lovely day of death and rebirth, of changing, of letting go. And just remember, you can just state, I choose to let this go. And oftentimes that energy that you're feeling, that you're like, boy, I'd really like to let this go. If you state, I choose to let this go, you'll be surprised how often that you'll just feel that release. Okay. That's I think video number 2 of the morning, and namaste.